There are some days on the water where everything just connects. The fishing almost plays a secondary part in the whole experience because it's consistent and predictable. You get to take some time to really soak in your surroundings and be more immersed in the place you're in. This was definitely shaping up to be one of those days. So, Jen and I have come out here to south central Oregon. I don't know, we're in pretty far deep southern Oregon. So we came out here for the annular solar eclipse, and currently it is incredibly cloudy outside and raining a little bit. So we're hoping that tomorrow, the eclipse is tomorrow, so we're hoping that we can actually get a little bit of a view of it, but we'll see. We ended up hiking up on a ridge, getting kind of our idea of where we could view it, but also the whole idea for me was to take photos of it. So in thinking about coming on the trip, I was thinking, well, shoot, I know of a decent river down there that I've never fished, but I've heard is a really, really fun river to fish. And so I thought, why not maximize the adventure there and try to get some fishing in as well as do the eclipse. So we have no idea if this eclipse thing will even happen. But the beauty is we got here and I went fishing kind of right away, and as you have seen, have caught a lot of fish. So that's been great. So hopefully tomorrow we can at least get that. If not, there'll be more fishing, which is great. The thing that is really a major bummer for me is that I'm currently using my backup camera. So on the last trip that I went on, I was doing some filming, and my main camera, which I love that thing, took a dip in the river and proceeded to not be too happy about it. But it still ended up, after, soaking in rice and all that kind of stuff, the lens, the microphone, and the camera all worked, with the exception of the LCD screen, the little display screen on the back. So I got it all working and used it to film a bunch of the footage that you've seen so far. And just as I was coming back to camp to come meet up back with Jen, it fell in the river again. And I am currently thinking that maybe I have done something horribly wrong in life and am cursed, but that's the way life works sometimes, is that it comes in waves, right? It really does, especially the bad luck. But I'm not going to let it get me down, because we're in a gorgeous place. I'm with a gorgeous woman, and we are going to have a good time, and I'm going to make sure of it. So we're going to take you along with us and show you this kind of nice little slice of Oregon that is not as heavily traveled as some of the other areas, and that's exciting. So stay tuned, and we hope that you enjoy what we have to show you. All right. Morning. We woke up to beautiful blue skies with a little bit of cloud cover, but it's not too bad. So we're hoping that the view of the eclipse is going to be pretty great. So we're just kind of gathering up our things here and preparing to hike up a hill here because the eclipse is going to happen back behind us this way. And we're just down low enough that we might not be able to get a good view, but we'll see. You never know. But yeah, it rained all night, and we ended up hanging out in the camper for a good chunk of it and just chilling out, which is a nice luxury to have. But now we're pretty stoked about this because it'll hopefully also, not only will the eclipse viewing maybe be great, also fishing might be more enjoyable when it's not raining. So see what happens. So we got up here to the ridge, got the camera all set up, and right as it was starting to really kick off, big bank of clouds rolled in. Just not what we were hoping for, but hey, I think I got some good photos, so I'll sprinkle them in. But now we're going to make some breakfast and then kind of decide what we're going to do next, whether we're going to stay here or start making our way back home. So camp another night somewhere else, but I don't know. We'll figure that out, but currently days wasting away, so I'm gonna go get some breakfast in me. It's time. So, all right, more journey ahead. We decided to stay another night because we were really enjoying the area we were in, and there were very few people around. This gave me more time to explore the river and even catch some nice healthy wild red bands. The icing on the cake was that I had the river all to myself. wanted to take a little bit of time and talk about what I'm using to fish with this Euro Nymph setup, and just, you know, what's working for me. So the rod itself is a Sage ESN. It's a specific Euro Nymphing rod. It's a 10-foot 3-weight, and the 3-weight can be a little bit deceiving because, you know, it's not like you would expect like a dry fly rod to be a 3-weight. You know, it's a lot more stout in the butt. I've got steelhead on that rod, and while I was afraid that the rod would break, it handled it very, very well. So I catch a lot of big Deschutes footballs on that that rod. So it's a great rod, but it's also really, really great for a river like this. So that is a that I have matched up with a Hatch. It's a 4+ reel, and it is just a very specific. I think it's a Rio Euro Nymph line with a Euro Nymph leader with a sighter built into it. So and then based off of that, there's a little bit of a tippet ring off the back, and then the back end of the leader, then I tie tippet to it. And then I typically run 2 flies. I like to run them at 2 different depths. Just, you know, one's a little bit deeper into the water column, one's a little bit higher up. And I kind of alternate between which is the heavier fly goes up on top or bottom. So for this trip, the bottom fly I was running a little bit the heavier fly. So that is a jig-headed, what is that? That's a jig head flash back pheasant tail, basically. Flash front, technically, but and that thing works great. I have a lot of success with that fly. And then for the bottom fly, I actually don't know what it is. It's something I tied up. I think it's similar to a Frenchie, but just it's got a little bit of a kind of a fluorescent pink collar, real small, kind of imitates a little bit of like a almost like jig head green rockworm, but not green, pink. So that particular setup worked really well in a river like this. It's not super deep, but yet, you know, I'm able to get down quick enough down to the fish, catch them. So anytime else, I'll probably have something a little bit, just a little bit more robust. And yeah, that's kind of the rig, and it's working for me. So I'm not, you know, some huge Euro Nymph advocate. It's something I find works, but it's not, you know, I don't think it's the end all be all to nymphing in particular too. But I think it works really well in a river like this where you can just get down really quick and then you're tight line nymphing, and yeah, it's effective. So anyway, that's kind of the gear I'm working with, and yeah, I'd be curious if anybody watching this is using Euro Nymph stuff, what they're using and how it works for them, because, you know, I'm no expert on it, but certainly is enjoyable when it's effective. So yeah, leave a comment if you're doing that, and I'd be curious to see what folks are doing. So all right. This is it. This is the end. We've had a great trip. The Eclipse wasn't what we had hoped it would be, but it was still pretty cool. And you know, like I said, the pictures kind of tell the story, and the clouds, they created, you know, kind of a cool backdrop or front drop or whatever for it, and made it, you know, made an interesting view. Made it actually so that we could see it a little bit better with the naked eye or the sunglasses, and instead of specialty glasses and all that. Fishing was fantastic. It was. I've been wanting to fish this river for, you know, I've said this before, but I wanted to fish this river for a really, really long time, and now I can't wait to come back. I've heard that there's some pretty big fish in here. I caught some decent ones, but yeah, I'd like to explore a little bit further down too. There's some kind of boulder fields down there that look good, and even further up too. I've heard that there's some big ones that can kind of migrate out of one of the bigger bodies of water up there. So we'll see. I mean, you know, it's a long way from home, and we're almost in California, which is pretty rad. So that's also kind of fun though. But thanks everybody. Thanks for tagging along for this one, and hopefully somebody got something out of this, and hopefully it was enjoyable. So we'll see you again next time. Thanks for coming along for the journey. Cheers.